In this lesson, we're going to solve for a variable to make this into a true proportion. Now, if you were to study in the textbook, it would show you how to do this with an equation format. And I've decided that I want to do it a little differently, so my video will be a little different than the explanation in the book. They both work just fine. When you're going to solve for one of the four positions in a proportion, this is what I suggest. Two steps. Step number one, multiply the diagonal or the cross product where there are two numbers. So step number one, in this problem, I'm going to multiply 14 times 3. That's 12, that's 42. Now, 2 times the mystery number has to equal 42. That means that if I take the answer I just got, 42, and I divide it by the number that's in the other cross product, 42 divided by 2 is 21. T is 21. So I'm going to solve proportions by a two-step method. Do the cross product where there are two numbers, take that answer and divide it by the third number. You will get the missing number. Now 14 times 3 is the same as 2 times 21. And that's all there is to solving proportions. In this one, solve the proportion for n. This is the cross product that has two numbers in it. So step number one, 20 times 225. Okay, that's 225 times 20. That's 0. Then I can go ahead and multiply. 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. There we go. So step number 2 is to take 4,500 and divide it by the number I haven't used yet, which is 15. 15 goes into just 45 3 times. So it goes into 4,500, it goes 300 times. So n is 300. Multiply the diagonal of numbers that where there's two numbers and divide by the third one. Let's look at number 3. Step number 1, 16 times 36. All right, let's see. 6 times 6 is 36, carry the 3. 6 times 3 is 18, and 3 more makes 21. Placeholder 0. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. 6, 7, 5. The answer to the cross product is 576. Take that, 576, divide it by the third number, 8. Let's see how many times 8 goes in there. Doesn't go into 5, but it does go into 57, so my answer will be here. It goes in there 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. Whoops, 16, 2. The answer is 72. X is 72. Multiply the diagonal you can, divide by the third number. Next one. There's the cross product I can do. 2 times 52, that's 104. Step 2, use the 104, divide it by the third number. Let's see, how about 8 times? Let's test that. 13 times 8, 24, carry the 2, 104. Yes, it is 8. M is 8. Okay, we have just a few more. Next one, the cross product with two numbers is right there. 1 times 25 is, nice problem, 25. Step 2, take that, 25 times 5, divided by 5 gives me 5. X is 5. 5 is the missing number in the proportion. Oops. Okay. Number 6. The cross product is these two numbers. So step number 1 is going to be 1.8 times 10, but we know that when we multiply by a 10, it just moves the decimal one place, so I get 18. Step number 2 is to take 18 and divide it by 4. Now it's not going to go in there evenly, but I look back up here and it says type a whole number or a decimal. Okay, so I have 18 divided by 4. It goes in there 4 times. That's 16 with 2. You'll have to add a decimal and a 0. Bring down the 0. And that's going to be 4.5. X is 4.5. So the instructions kind of gave me a warning that I might get a decimal value. And I want to do one more sample problem. Let's suppose that you had, this is just an example. What if you had X is to 7 1/7 as 5 1/5 is to 6 1/6. Okay, this is kind of a nasty problem, but I did want to do it because I want you to recognize that you have the skills to do it. To solve this proportion, you're still going to look at your cross product. The first cross product is 7 1/7 times 5 1/5. I need to change that to an improper fraction. That's going to be 7 times 7 is 49 plus 1 is 50 over 7 times 25 and 1 is 26 over 5. Can I reduce? A little bit. 5 goes in there once, and 5 goes in there 10 times. 10 times 26 is 260. 7 times 1 is 7. Now, leave that. You're going to use it because step number 2 is to take that 260 over 7 and divide it by the number you haven't used yet, which is 6 1/6. Once again, I need improper fractions. I have one, 260 over 7 divided by 6 times 6 is 36 plus 1 is 37 over 6. Keep, change, flip because it's division. So it's 260 over 7, change, flip that fraction. I do not believe I can do any reducing, so I have to multiply the tops and multiply the bottoms. 260 times 6, 36, carry the 3, 12. The numerator is 1,560. The denominator, let's see, it's 37 times 7. That's 49, carry the 4. That's 259. Then, depending on the instructions in the problem, if you might be allowed to leave it as an improper fraction, you might be asked to change it to a mixed number, and if you were, and I'm not going to show all this because this is just an example problem. I don't think you're going to have one like this, but you would have to divide 259 into 1,560. It ends up going 6 times with a remainder of 6. So if you happen to have a proportion that has mixed numbers, it doesn't matter what kind of numbers they are. You multiply the diagonal that has 2 numbers and you divide by the third number. Okay? So you go work on your proportions.